Hey, I'm Butterfly.
Hey, I'm Firefly.
Have you ever wondered if we aren't being told the truth about everything?
What have we been lied to about? Join us as we have conversations and ask questions about everything. We invite you to keep an open mind and consider the unfathomable.
Let's break the chains that enslave our minds. Come on, let's go down the rabbit hole.
What is up, Butterfly?
Hey, Firefly, what's going on?
Well, I watched Tucker and Alex Jones interview,
Oh,
and the whole time I was thinking, I was going, because both of them were bragging about how influential they are. So,
God.
uh,
Was Alex bragging about how well endowed he is?
he didn't get into his junk per se, but he did say, no, no, Tucker, you are more influential than Joe Rogan. You are the you are the most influential English speaking person right now at this point.
Oh my gosh,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You're the
that's
most. Yeah,
huge.
it's like you and Trump are in. He goes, you know, you can check me on this. You can check me on this. You are so important, and you're so courageous, and you're such an important person. And I'm just going,
He
dude, why
wants
don't
to
you
kiss
just like start giving him fellatio?
Alex.
So, anyways,
Wait, was this Alex interviewing Tucker or Tucker
yeah.
you okay.
So Alex is interviewing
Okay.
Tucker, but you can't really tell because they're both in their studios. But then Tucker
Or they were
starts,
each in their own studio, like
yes,
doing it via satellite?
yes.
Oh God. Okay.
So then Tucker returns the favor by going,
Oh no, no, you're the most influential.
"No, you are courageous. I mean, they took your company away." So he kind of plays in. That's when I started going, dude, these guys are controlled opposition because one thing that controlled opposition has to do is validate the other controlled opposition. That's part
Yeah,
of their script.
totally.
So Alex will come out and validate Rand Paul dragging Fauci in. And he'll be like, Rand Paul's our guy in the arena. We got to support him. But it's all just cheerleading to get
Hmm.
people thinking that the controlled opposition is actually on our side.
Right. And they're doing something,
And he's
fighting
doing the
for us.
same thing with Tucker. He's acting like Tucker's fighting for us, and Tucker's doing the same thing, like legitimizing Alex Jones's legal battles with with the Sandy Hook thing.
Mm.
I am under the impression that that was all just a fugazi. That's all part of his backstory. Because how does he get sued for $1 billion, but then doesn't miss a beat, just starts another,
Yeah.
thing,
Yeah.
and it's getting foisted and it's got millions of views. So nothing's changed other
Right.
than just the branding a little bit.
Yeah.
So we're supposed to believe that he's under attack.
Hmm.
Or Tucker, like he's acting like Tucker's getting like death threats from Israel. Dude, Tucker looked very comfy. He looked very comfy. So they start unpacking what's going on with Israel.
Okay.
And the way that Tucker couches it is no, 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 no. Trump went over there and got completely bamboozled by Israel.
Oh.
I don't believe that. I think that that's the controlled opposition. But what they're kind of couching is that Trump got tricked into doing the bidding of Israel in Iran, then realized what was going on and backed out. And he postured by saying, "We're going to end civilization tomorrow." Remember that comment?
Yeah, that was so creepy.
That was like posturing because
Hmm.
what he was doing was backing away from the initiative. And then this quote unquote deal
Yeah.
is all the whole world is realizing that he isn't powerful. He is just a puppet of Israel. And the whole world's recognizing that. And so they're couching it like that. But the whole time I'm sitting there going, okay, Tucker and Buckley, they grew up going to the club
Yeah,
and they are in the culture club.
totally.
And his dad was in the CIA.
CIA.
And he starts talking about his dad too. What was he talking about?
And Alex's dad was somehow connected to the CIA or something too, right? He's got
He always talks
some.
about how his dad was like, my dad had such a high IQ, kind of like myself. I've got a huge cock and huge IQ, but my dad had a big IQ and probably a big cock too. I didn't ask him. So he was going to Texas A&M, And the CIA approached him and said, "You're so smart. We want you to come in here and be a part of the culture club." And Alex puts forth the notion that his dad told him to fuck off, but I think that's a lot.
Yeah, because he also always talks about how his dad had all of these interesting people over to the house where they would like talk about all this kind of like
Yeah,
secret stuff
that
too.
wouldn't be
So,
happening if his dad got offered uh, an admission ticket to the culture club and said no.
yeah.
If you get offered an admission ticket to the culture club and say no, you pretty much get canceled.
Hmm.
They don't like when you say no to them.
Yeah.
But so he's kind of talking about like how his dad taught him this and taught him that, whatever. But I noticed that the whole time they're talking about that country from 1948, they're never talking about how embedded in this country that country from 1948 is.
Right. So, like I was saying to you a little while ago, was it's like that country from 1948. They talk about it as if it's over there somewhere. It's
Yeah,
physically like somewhere else on a map, but when actually it's over here and it's over there and it's everywhere. It's
totally.
it's not just somewhere far away on a map. It's actually like all over the place.
And Alex Jones and Tucker Carlson both know that all too well.
Hmm.
And they're not telling their audience that on purpose.
Yeah.
Because what I think the controlled opposition does is say, no, 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 you're right, but this is how to frame the problem.
Yeah.
So the problem with that country from 1948 is, well,
They're over there.
they're over there and they're starting wars that we shouldn't be involved in, and we need to, and then so Tucker even says like this. He says, um, we need to tell them the carrot and the stick for you. And he goes, the stick is we cut off funding. You're not getting money for your wars anymore. But the carrot is, but calm down and don't nuke everybody, please.
Oh my God.
So it's kind of like but see, that's kind of like saying this is how the problem is. But the problem you and I both have talked about is that's irrelevant. That's all just like proxy war crap. Of course, cut off funding to them. But what are we going to do with the ones that are like dual citizens that are entrenched here?
Yeah. So they've already embedded themselves here like ticks, and
They are like tick.
they're like ticks. And isn't that just sort of ironic too that like
They
Bill
release
Gates
ticks.
has all those ticks that he
I
has?
think so.
You
He's
know?
like, they kind of resemble the way that me and the Culture Club behave.
Yeah. They're like they're my what do they call it? The spirit animal or something?
They're my spirit animal.
Yeah.
I'm
I'm a tick.
I'm a parasite. I'm a parasitic tick because that's kind of how they behave.
Yeah.
They just sit there and draw blood from everybody and get all
And
fat,
get bloated.
get all bloated and fat, and they're hard to get out.
They are. And you don't want to like yank them out the wrong way because then like the head gets stuck
They
and
can.
it turns into a whole thing.
God. And then they can also make you sick.
Yeah.
That's what's kind of happened. I think we got like Lyme disease as a country. That's
Totally. Or we have alpha gal.
we have alpha gal. We have collective alpha gal from the ticks, and the ticks are from that country from 1948. So that was the thing that pissed me off is they sat there and talked. I think I watched a 56-minute episode.
Wow, it was long.
Yeah. And they never talk about their influence in this country. They don't talk about AIPAC. They don't talk about
Uh,
education and
that's
how
kind of the elephant in the room.
that's what I'm saying.
APAC.
So this was actually what I noticed about the episode was you know, I guess you can say it's a white pill that everyone's talking about that country from 1948. That
Right.
is kind of a white pill, but it has to be talked about appropriately and accurately. Otherwise, it's not a white pill.
Well, because what they do is what controlled opposition does is truth, 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 lies. And sometimes a
Yes,
lie is a lie by omission. So
exactly.
in this case, it could just be that it could just be an omission, which is they leave that part out of the story.
Yeah,
Could
they
be
talk
hidden.
about that country from 1948 in terms of a foreign policy issue. It's not a foreign policy issue, it's a domestic issue.
It's here and it's there and it's everywhere. Kind of like Dr. Seuss.
Mhm. It is. Which one was that? Was that a book?
It kind of reminded me of like green eggs and ham.
Mm-hmm.
Would you like it here? No,
Would you,
Sam, I
could
am.
you, with a fox, would you, could you, in a box? Would you, could you, in that country from 1948?
Yeah,
Because that's another thing too. The conversation should have easily spread to BlackRock,
right.
headquartered there.
Yeah.
BlackRock is headquartered there. They own
And
the world.
BlackRock owns the world.
We've talked about that. Like Larry Fink is the CEO of Earth.
Yeah,
It's not a company. It's a global order
totally.
or a flat Earth or order. So, anyways, I wanted to talk about that because this is kind of telling in that the controlled opposition is constantly diverting you away from the crux of the issue.
Hmm.
I think that's what they this was kind of a case study in that. Why are Tucker and Alex so prominent, foisted everywhere? It's because they placate the base.
Yeah.
They placate the intelligent conservative Americans who are aware of all of these issues, but tell them, look at what it really is a foreign policy issue rather than a domestic issue. Like, for instance, Alex Jones came out and did a whole expose on how um, Epstein was in the Trilateral Commission and he was the author of Q.
He's saying Epstein was the author of Q.
Yes,
Is that a fact or is that Alex's interpretation?
I think it's a fact
Really?
because controlled opposition does truth, 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 lies, and they reveal the method. So you can look at what they're saying, like the things that they were saying about Israel today in their interview with each other about what's going on in Israel.
Yeah,
There's truth in that. But like you said, they omit the domestic aspect of it.
right.
With the Q thing, it was Steve Bannon.
Yeah.
And I never trusted that fat
I
fuck.
never trusted him.
And
Seemed like
then
a weasel.
he totally is. He's just a fat, greasy fuck. He needs to take more GLP-1s. But then he was told as controlled opposition, his role was to go and target the white conservatives. This is what Alex Jones said. So he had to go to the Trilateral Commission, which used to be run by David Rockefeller, but then he croaked and it got taken over by Jeffrey Epstein. Jeffrey Epstein was the head of the Trilateral Commission, which is basically like a think tank
That guy
that
sure,
informs our policy decisions.
he sure had a lot of powerful positions and jobs for somebody that never like really had any actual like qualifications for any of these things.
Totally. His qualifications were he had an island where he could blackmail people.
Yeah.
And I think that was powerful because if you wanted to be in power, you probably went to Epstein Island. So, anyways, Q was controlled opposition.
So Epstein was the author, but Bannon was the one that carried it out, or how did that work?
They put their heads together, apparently, according to
Uh,
what Alex said, and they came up with releasing little tidbits on 4chan and 8chan. And it was very much controlled opposition, where they give you a little bit of truth and they talk about child sex trafficking or they talk about Fauci and all his crimes. And then, but they always couch it as like, but that's their body double, and that guy's he's already been tried down in Cuba at Guantanamo and been executed and all that stuff. So it's like, yeah, no, you're right, but everything's taken care of,
yeah.
you know. So yeah, Q was controlled opposition,
Oh
and it was
yeah.
started by Steve Bannon and Jeffrey Epstein in the Trilateral Commission.
Interesting. Um, so I want to mention another aspect of this whole like threat that that country from 1948 always puts out there about the nukes. Like if
Hmm.
basically if we don't support them, they're just going to nuke the world.
Yeah,
So,
Alex and Tucker were talking about that too,
uh-huh.
because they were saying they're desperate right now.
But do you remember our episode that we did on nukes?
Hmm. Yes.
Um, and there are our listeners can go back and listen to that episode if they haven't already, but we discussed the idea and the theory of nukes. And we talked about how, you know, it's probably more than possible and highly probable that nukes don't even really exist.
Totally plausible that that was all a lie. All the
A
footage,
trauma-based mind control system to scare the entire world, that somebody has the power to just blow up everything with the flick of a
what do you
switch.
think the footage of nuclear bombs exploding were? Those big mushroom
Um,
cloud footage. You think that was fake, or do you think that that was real?
I think so. There's been a lot of people who've done like a lot of research on this topic, and they say that, yes, there were gas bombs and stuff like that, but um, these weren't nuclear bombs. These were um I forgot what kind of explosives they said that they were, but they didn't kill. It's interesting because like in a lot of those places, um like buildings and stuff were demolished, but there were still trees, and it was really weird. It almost had like the same kind of effect as the dews that we have today, the direct energy weapons.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a lot of there's a big case to point towards the the idea that nukes are just another big lie that they've told us to scare the hell out of us and to traumatize people. Because if you can traumatize an entire generation with the idea that like the world is like, you know, gonna end because like we're using too much gas and the cows are farting too much and like the ice is melting, then you can certainly traumatize a generation or a whole world by telling them that the whole place can just be blown up by a push of the button, you know?
So you think
So
the
my
nuke the nuke thing is something that the country from 1948 is using as a fear tactic, kind of like when someone robs a bank with their finger in their footy.
Exactly. So, but my question is, when people use that kind of thing as a threat, like who really believes it? You know what I mean?
The gullible people.
Yeah, so like for them to say, "Hey, you got to still keep giving us money or we're just going to blow up the whole world with our nukes." Do our leaders actually believe that, or are they just like playing along with the game and telling the all the citizens that, oh yeah, this is why we got to fuck
Mm.
them
I
because
see where you're heading.
yeah,
So nukes are because what really makes people go along with that country from 1948 is the fear of being canceled, and they go run for office, and that person, that the country from 1948 comes and tells them, "Do what we say, or otherwise we're going to fund your opponent."
mm-hmm,
So they all sell
trauma,
out.
yeah,
But then what they tell their constituents is, "We have to support them, and they're going to nuke us.
yeah,
So we need to support them." So that's all just a big fugazi. Nukes are just a big fugazi to keep people placated for why we're supporting them endlessly.
exactly,
It's all just like the fake gun in the hand.
yeah.
They know that the guy doesn't have a gun, it's just his finger in a sweatshirt, but they
So
tell their constituents he's got a gun.
yeah, so it would be like the guy comes in to rob the bank, but he's just using his finger in his pocket as the gun, but he is working. He's got somebody on the inside working with him, who's been working at the bank as a teller, and he's like basically mapped out the whole place and tells him exactly where the vault is and how they're going to do this, and he's going to help him pull this off. And that guy acts terrified of the bank robber coming in
Yes.
with the gun in his pocket that's actually his finger.
He plays that
He
role.
plays along.
And Tucker was doing that today. Tucker was going, what we need to do is we need to calm Israel down because they're hotheads right now and they're acting really
And they
crazy.
might push the button.
They're, you know how dangerous it is. So he's kind of suggesting these people are
We
dangerous.
still have to kiss their butts.
Let's just come on now. And that's what he was kind of saying. He was saying, give them the carrot and the stick. The stick is cut funding, but give them a carrot of what
So
can we do to keep you from getting upset?
so that's so hilarious too, because so he's on a basically a TV show saying this and saying like how dangerous they are and how we should just give them the carrot. But like if they were actually really dangerous and he had a plan for how to like keep them at bay and like protect us, should he really be divulging that like on this show? Shouldn't it be sort of
I
like a
know.
secret? You know what I mean?
The other thing too is they kind of they play up all these dangers, you know, and like he acts like you know, I'm just a podcaster. I don't have any say in what's going on.
Yeah.
And it's like that's disingenuous too.
Uh,
He's not just a podcaster, he's controlled opposition. He's out there playing a very important role for the culture club,
hmm
but they always come off all innocuous. So anyways, it was it was interesting to see. First of all, Alex Jones, full of himself, totally full of himself, acting like those two are just the most important people in the world. And then he starts off the episode by just talking about how much he admires Tucker. That's another controlled opposition because they are really good at making sure that their audience puts their support behind their other controlled opposition people.
yeah, because there's safety in numbers.
Yeah. So
So
Alex wants his audience to be like Tucker's the man. He is the man.
yeah,
Tucker is controlled opposition. Him and Buckley. Buckley wrote speeches for Trump.
how convenient.
Everything's so just like Culture Club,
Yeah.
you know?
I always have to ask like why these kinds of people always have their siblings are always involved too. Like look at Hollywood, like you know how many siblings there are that
Wasn't
are
James Franco's brother like in something?
all of them. It's like they're all famous and they have like famous brothers and sisters and they're all like A-list act and they've got an A-list brother or sister. It's like I don't know in
Or how
real
about
life like
presidents and then like the son,
yeah,
you know, like George Bush, but then George Bush's son just happens to
I
be
know,
president
just
too.
coincidentally.
And he's got a couple other sons that are running too, like Jeb, he ran too.
Yeah.
It's
I
like,
mean,
dude,
how often does that just happen in real life that like, you know, you are going to be, you know, like okay, if I was an Olympic ice skater, I guess I could have a sister that was also an Olympic ice skater because maybe we like went to skating lessons together as children, but I don't know. I just feel like these people get propped into these positions and they it's beyond nepotism. It doesn't seem like nepotism to me. It seems like a different kind of thing that's going on, you know, that they would have their siblings would also be in such a high position,
totally.
you
Like,
know.
they were begging Michelle Obama to run for president.
Yeah.
And it's all just based on nepotism and
Yeah.
like, okay, yeah, yeah, yeah. No, if you want to, we'll place
Your
you.
husband was president. Now that you should be the president now.
Or Bill Clinton and then Hillary Clinton,
Yeah,
you
I
know?
know. Like there's no other people in the world that could do this,
Dude, there should never,
you know.
ever be anybody who is related. I mean, with how
That
many
should
we have,
be that should be a law actually.
yeah,
If you were the president, you can't have like a relative that becomes the president
yeah.
Because
your
it
son
seems
or your
then,
uncle.
yeah,
No.
because then it's almost like this family is taking over. You know what I mean?
Well, that was how Tucker revealed the method at the end.
Oh,
He said, our system is a collapsed system, and we produce mediocre leaders.
hmm,
And I was like yourself,
hmm.
kind of, because we do. We produce mediocre leaders, but I don't think we produce them at all. They're selected because we have a country of 350 million people. And if we had an organic system where people were nominated, it would be a huge group of people that would be president.
Do we really have 350 million people?
I don't know. What do you disagree with that?
I think we're going to do an episode on that too, because
You think it's more than that?
I, no, I think they lie about the number of people in this world.
Mm, yeah.
I don't think there's as many people as they say there are because I think it's all part of the scarcity fear tactic that there's too many of us and things are going to run out
Because
and
you drove across the country.
and there's nobody there.
Totally. I know, huh? I was
So we'll
thinking
do an
about that.
episode about that.
I was thinking about that. Middle America is like this burned out husk of what it used to be. We used to have a middle class, and we used to have like Main Street America all across the country.
Maybe we were born in the wrong timeline, Firefly.
We're
We should
anchored in
have,
the 1950s
yeah,
timeline.
we should have been in the 1950s.
Oh my God, I would have been so happy to be in
I
the
would have been,
50s.
oh my God, I would have been like so cute in the poodle skirts.
Totally.
And like we could have had our podcast like at the soda fountain.
Totally. Could you see me like wearing like Brill cream in my hair, just slicking it back? Totally.
Yeah.
And then I come pick you up in my 57 Chevy.
And we go do our podcast at like the at
Yeah.
the
At the diner
at
having a
the
shake,
diner. Yeah, we have the
listening.
chocolate malt.
Yeah, totally. Like I probably wouldn't miss Metallica. I would just be like rocking in the treetops all the day long. What was that one? Rockin' Robin. Toot,
Do,
doo, doo, doo,
do,
doo, doo.
do.
Rockin' Robin. Dude, I'm down with that. The 50s were
Totally.
so fun, dude.
Yeah.
Everything was so, dude, I miss clean cities,
Yeah.
crime. Like I was driving through our town. There's trash on the ground now.
It's turning into a third world hellhole.
One of the earmarks of third world hellhole is trash on the ground.
Yeah.
When I lived in Newark, New Jersey,
Graffiti.
dude, graffiti and trash. Like, dude, brown people, they get done with trash in their car and they just go, I'm done with this. And they just like subconsciously just chuck crap out of their car on the ground.
That's so
And
gross.
so it just gets filled with trash. And then they also don't have street cleaning services that go and pick it up.
Yeah.
So what you end up having is like years of accumulated trash lining the streets.
That's so awful.
It's I think it's depressing and maybe it's left there on purpose. What if they do that to demoralize people in slums?
Well, remember what we were talking about a little while ago about how we keep getting these alerts in our emails? I told you I'm getting these alerts suddenly that I never signed up for,
Unsolicited.
unsolicited, where it's like, oh, this crime just happened point 0.9 miles from your neighborhood, or a shooting just happened yesterday half a mile from your house, and I'm like, oh my God. And it's like it's never anything good. It's
It's
never,
unsolicited and foisted.
yeah, and it's never like, oh, a cat was found by a child the other day who had lost her cat, or
Yeah.
the parakeet that was missing was located. It's never that. It's always like a shooting or like arson. That arson
A
the other
man
day.
saved a woman who got in a car crash and he rescued her before the car blew up.
No, it's like there was a car that was like arsoned in your neighborhood last
Yes.
night, and
Arson. A man was burned to death on your corner last night. Did
so
you notice that?
I'm like, what? That's weird. And you said, I'm getting those too. And we live in totally separate neighborhoods. And I'm like, that's really weird that suddenly both of us are getting.
What was my idea?
You had an interesting theory. Well, I said, like, are they trying to traumatize us and make us like want to leave this area, like make us realize like we're living in a hellhole, so we leave so that we can make room for like the cockroaches that want to move in? And you said, wouldn't that be interesting if they were just soliciting these emails to the white
To
people?
totally, because then what will happen is all the white people are going to leave this area because white flight is real. It gets to the point where it's not tenable for white people to live here anymore. And then the culture club's going to be stoked because then what they'll do is they'll just probably do this whole area.
Well, I wonder if something like that's coming because I just wonder if
Oh my
like
God,
they're
AIPAC.
trying to make us want to leave by telling us how horrible it is.
What if all the new construction is like
15-minute cities.
yeah, but do friendly. Like they make it so that it's easily doable.
Is- Well,
The roofs
do they
and
have
like
blue roofs?
the roofs are real doable,
Uh,
and like all of the wood is like real flammable. So when they do these areas, they're going to go up like matchsticks.
oh my God.
And then what if they're because I noticed a lot of people are talking about water and how they're manipulating the water, they're charging more.
They are.
What if they intentionally start rationing the water in an area and get it really dry, get the wood really dry, and then do it?
Well, you know what's interesting? So there's been a huge increase in these ADUs, auxiliary dwelling units. It
Those are the little places like in your backyard.
Yeah, like you could build like a second home in your backyard. And so people are stacking these in and people are moving in, so there's just tons of people living in every house and in every neighborhood. But you know what else is happening simultaneously, which doesn't match that? They're not issuing any new water
Allocation.
yeah, you can't get a new, like, I don't know what it's called, water line or whatever. So you can like build these units, but they're not allowing you to have like a new like source of water coming in.
So those
So
people
that
will have
doesn't
to come use the bathrooms in the main
it
house.
doesn't make any sense. It's like I guess they want want everything on 1 meter or something, but there's got to be another motive behind that because if they want people building extra units and adding more people into the city, why they're going to be using more water? Why wouldn't they
Maybe
allow this?
it's to get people ready for water rationing
Yes, I think that has
and
something.
saying your back house is using too much water, so you're only allocated this many gallons a day. You have an ADU, that's fine, but you still are only allocated this much water per day. And those allocations will start to get diminished more and more. And the thing
There,
about water, we have to take their word for how much water there is.
exactly, because you're on a tier and you don't know how much you actually use. But what they could do is like they'll say, so they want more people moving in and they're encouraging it, and there a lot of people are on board with building these things, so they're trying to stack people in, but I think at the same time they're actually rationing our water usage, so people are basically going to die of thirst.
Totally.
you know
And then also what that might be part and parcel with people putting like cactus and rocks in their yards instead of having nice,
green
lush green
grass.
grass
Yeah,
because
I was just thinking the same thing.
they're like those lawns with cactus, it's very good for doing.
Exactly.
I think that's probably why they want to get rid of the white people. They want to get rid of the white people and then just do all the third world barbarians in one big 50-minute city.
Hmm.
They have plans for the white people too, but um one thing that they do know is that if they import enough third world barbarians into a region, all the white people will leave.
Yeah,
And I think that's conducive for them.
totally.
What they're doing now is banking on white flight because then when an area gets completely taken over by third world barbarians, then BlackRock owns that area.
Oh yeah. Yeah, because the third world barbarians are not going to come in and like buy a house.
No.
They're gonna own nothing and be happy, just the way BlackRock wants them
Right
to
down
be.
the street from my house, there's like 20 third world barbarians living in one single family house.
Wow.
And there's not even an ADU. It's just 20 of them living in one
They're
house.
just like sharing like the bedrooms and stuff.
And it's probably owned by BlackRock or some
Yeah,
company that buys up a bunch of real estate that's owned by BlackRock.
yeah,
Because BlackRock has a bunch of different faces.
yeah.
but
They do.
they have arms of their company just go buy up real estate.
Hmm.
Like I went down to Oak Park. I used to live down in Oak Park and walked around there, and they have these gorgeous tract homes that are not like just normal tract homes, like larger yards, larger plots, and these houses are gorgeous, and they were built back in like the 60s.
Hmm.
Nobody lives in them.
What?
Because I used to walk there every single day. You'll just see the yards perfectly manicured, but you never see humans living in them.
That's weird. So you think BlackRock like bought up the whole neighborhood?
Yep.
And what are they doing with it?
Well, I think they rig prices.
Oh yeah,
They
yeah,
rig housing prices
yeah,
that way. They rig supply,
yeah.
and so also they rig the amount of houses that are available, and they probably also only sell to people that are in the culture club. I bet you. Or they buy them and they just hold them and wait until all of the people that live in this area that are like respectable white people leave, and then they'll just do those houses.
Hmm,
Because I think BlackRock has so much money that they can take losses.
totally.
They're agenda driven, not profit driven now.
Right,
Because
right.
BlackRock has so much money that they're agenda driven.
Hmm.
So, anyways, that's another topic. But for this one, I wanted to talk about that interview because some people might say, "Oh, see, they really got to the crux of the issue." Tucker and Alex
Yeah,
that got to the crux of the issue, talking about that country from 1948. No, they didn't.
yeah.
It'd be like if, you know, you start talking about, gosh darn it, I wish those people next door would stop having parties, because they're really disturbing me because they're up late. And it's like, well, no, dude, the real problem is the four third world barbarians that live in my living room and are eating my food from my fridge. They're staying in my living room and I can't get rid of them. And if I try to get rid of them, I'm a bigot. So that's the real problem. So the way that Alex and Tucker would talk about it is be like, yeah, we really got to do about those people partying. They're drinking, we got to set like that. Like they'll talk about something like, how about we put in place like 10 o'clock curfew for them across the street? That doesn't do anything about the four vatos living on my couch.
How'd they get in there?
They're there. Yeah, they just walked in and they just said, "We are here." And I go, "Well, wait a sec. No, this is my house, dude." It's like, well, we got told by Tucker that we could be here. So that's kind of what they did. It was kind of annoying because they talked about that country from 1948 for the whole hour
Yeah.
and didn't. So
Didn't
it's kind
get
of
to the
like,
didn't get to the heart of the matter.
yeah, it's kind of like a stripper, but she never really shows you anything. She dances for the whole time, but she kind of just stays covered up the whole time. That's what they did.
She never takes off her bikini.
No. And you're going, what? Well, this sucks. I might as well just go to the
Yeah.
beach.
Oh my
What
goodness.
is a white pill?
White
So
pill is recognize the controlled opposition. And when you hear them talking and you hear like the things that sound like truth, realize that there are lies mixed in with it, even if the lies are just what they're not telling you.
that's right. That's right. So white pill is understand what controlled opposition is. And at this point, I think anybody who's prominent and gets foisted, I suspect they're controlled opposition.
Totally.
So then if you're listening to somebody who's foisted and is super popular, learn to translate what they're saying because they're not telling the whole truth. They're omitting some truths. So, especially when they're talking about that country from 1948, or if they're talking about any kind of domestic issues like illegal immigration or something like that, understand what's going on there. I think that's important because always remember, audience, by the way, I love you guys. Thank you for listening. Always remember the protocols of Zion. The Protocols of Zion from 1905, they said controlling both sides of the narrative is the most important thing in taking over a country. And controlled opposition is the tool that they use.
Yep.
So be aware that I'm not just making this up. We're not just blowing smoke out of our asses. This is real. And in my opinion, Alex Jones and Tucker are controlled opposition. Same with Candace, same with Joe Rogan. So when you're listening to these people and you're hearing them, understand that it's truth, 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 lies, and be able to translate it and be able to understand what they're really saying, then we can start to kind of figure out what's really going on. And that's
Exactly.
important.
Yeah, that's great. Well, thank you for listening,
Like,
listeners.
like,
Subscribe.
subscribe for, or what is it? I guess it's follow or subscribe.
Yeah.
Do you have subscribe on Insta
Um,
or follow?
follow and give us a thumbs up
Give
and
us a thumbs up,
share.
comment,
Comment and share.
comment, and share.
Thank you.
Oh, and go to unslaveyourmindpodcast.com and buy one of our shirts.
Yeah.
They're available.
Yep.
Okay.
Bye.
All right, we'll talk soon.
Bye.